focus on another crucial angle to all of these discussions we're having. There is Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen and his Afafranto movement for change. Now the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, because it's brought on board some 9 groupings, and he is hoping to make a dent, an impact as far as election 2024 is concerned. But interestingly, in Adenta, we have a situation there where a stalwart of the NPP, or at least someone who has been in the fray, who defected to Alan Kyerematen's movement, is now defecting back to the NPP and carrying supposedly thousands of voters. My colleague Sweetie Abochi was there yesterday and came through with this report, after which we'll delve into the issue.
It has become evidently clear that we made a mistake. And I'll repeat, it has become evidently clear that we made a mistake that we humbly admit and ready to work to ensure that its dire effect is reversed or averted. Since the 7th February 2024 speech by His Excellency the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we have been asking ourselves questions that borders on the future of this country and the very Ghana that we young people want. It has become unarguably clear that amongst all the political leaders, Dr. Bawumia has so far been the one who has clearly articulated the Ghana story. Where we have come from, where we have what we have to achieve. In order for us to realize the dream of seeing the Ghana we want, or seeing Ghana grow, we are left with no other choice than to rally behind. You know how difficult it is when you go and you are coming back. Some people will not be happy, even though some people will also be happy. They've encouraged us in a good manner, and they're expecting us to be confident in anything we are doing and just always think clearly and also always think twice about every decision we want to make. I'm saying on authority that nobody has bribed us and nobody can bribe us. I don't know what me as a businessman, and I don't know who can tell me in this country that they've held my hand to any length. You can't bribe me. We are doing fine. We are perfect where we are. But the time comes, you need to rethink your decision, because it's all about the future of this country.
So you heard there Alfred Abebio Kumi with the NPP. Then he decided to go along with Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, and now he is saying, we've seen a few things and we have thought through the matter and we're coming back into the fold. Are you happy? I mean, these are some members coming back into your party. Those are votes, more votes that you have secured.
Every party's constitution is what governs the political parties. And every party looks at numbers. It is numbers that wins elections.
True.
So definitely, if people are coming into your party, you have to be happy that if they have taken a decision in the past that they have seen that, no, it was a wrong decision, and they have taken another decision to go back to their roots, I believe that it is something that is very welcoming. I've heard them talk about having re-engagement with leadership of the party at the constituency level and other leadership of the party. But
a quick one, lest I forget. You know, your party's constitution is clear. Once they defected, they ceased being members of the NPP, right? So now what is the process?
The same party's constitution gives you the window to write to the party requesting a comeback. So if they have said that they have had engagement with the leadership of the party in respect of this particular direction, I mean that they have triggered another aspect of the party's constitution to get back to where they rightfully belong.
So can we say currently, on the back of that presser and everything, that they have been reinstated as members of the NPP?
I can't indicate this perfectly because I have not been engaged in this particular process, but the party works...
But you know what the Constitution says?
Yeah, the party works in different structures, from the polling station to electoral area to constituency to regional and then to national. So these persons might have engaged the constituents. I've heard them because I was on one of your media stations in multimedia, where they were called. They indicated the engagements that they have done within the party leadership. And I believe that once that one is also triggered, it's a valid point within the statutes of the party's constitution, of which they have to be given an amnesty or be re-engaged in terms of their members.
So, in other words, Moyoma Wawa too, you're welcoming them back into the NPP?
Definitely those leadership at that particular angle, if it be it the constitution.
No, I mean you're happy, right?
Yeah, but I haven't put, I expect numbers.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Courage Nobe. He is Deputy Director of Communications with the Movement for Change, now together with the other entities, the Alliance for Revolutionary Change. Courage, good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
It's good to have you join the conversation. Here you are, you had some support. It appears some of your support base is breaking away. He's popularly known as Adenta Kumi, Alfred Abibio Kumi. He says the decision to come along with Alan Kyerematen was not a good one, and based on what they see, they are reverting to the membership of the NPP. How do you feel about that?
Thank you very much, Ben. I think I'll begin with this quote from our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who says, "Revolutions are brought about by men who think as men of action and act as men of thought." So when we began this in September 2023, we're clear in our minds that we need certain caliber of people, particularly men of conviction, to be able to drive this home. In the excitement of the moment, we knew some would join our ranks who may not have the cojones or the stealth necessary to go the full haul. So we've been expecting this.
You were expecting defections. You were expecting it.
So we're expecting that a few of the people who do not have the mettle to go the full haul will fall off. Because whereas we agree that politics is about numbers, weaklings don't add much to it. And they're actually a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage to have weaklings in your fold. So if by the grace of God...
So you're referring to Alfred Abibio Kumi as a weakling?
I'm stating a position on all that is happening. That the men who would see this revolution come to fruition, like the likes of Dr. Abu Sakara, the likes of Duke Sasu, the likes of Bishop Dr. Samuel Ninoy Mensah, and a host of others.
The likes of ODK.
Yes, thousands spread across the country who have seen what we are trying to do to move this country from poverty to prosperity, supporting a candidate who has a solid track record of performance both in private and public sector, who has the most important characteristic of the president who can build a nation, integrity on his side, whose character is without blemish. That is what we are about. Thousands of young people, see what we are trying to do, and they've come on board, and a lot more people continue to engage, some with their own political entity. So that is what we are building, and that is what we know. In such a move, trying to unseat an establishment that has taken center stage of Ghana's politics, the entire Fourth Republic, for 32 years. It is not something that you can do with weaklings. And so we knew that when the heat gets on and the task begins to look as daunting as we know it is, some who don't have the capacity will fall off for convenience. And so some of these things for us I think it's a gain for the movement, to have some of these.
You think the departure of these numbers, Alfred Kumi together with his cohort, it's a gain for the movement? In other words, is this good riddance?
Absolute good riddance. And it is not any number. Alfred is supposed to be part of our communicators. Find out the last time he spoke for or represented this movement everywhere or anywhere. We had been aware, long before, that there were some attempts to literally bribe back some of our people into the fold of the NPP, and we'll be monitoring it closely.
Did you say bribe? Did you say bribe?
Oh, yes.
There have been attempts from the MPP end to bribe some of your members to get them back into the MPP.
Yes.
I see. And based on what is your evidence, though?
We've been monitoring that development closely, for close to 3 months now. So that is the extent to which this does not surprise us at all.
So your suspicion is that these people have been influenced?
How does it sound, to you, the kind of reason that is being adduced for this? I have heard elsewhere that one of the reasons why Mr. Kumi said he's left is because on his birthday, Alan Temati did not call him to wish him happy birthday. Certainly, you cannot have a revolution with people of such mindset.
But you don't know that for a fact. You say you have heard. Let's be fair to the other person. You don't know that for a fact.
Because in his attempt to get some of the people to follow him, when he called on the asked him why, he had to give reason. And what he doesn't know is that as many people as he was calling, they were calling and informing us of his actions. So he called me, he said, ABC and D, what is happening? He said, don't worry, the main count. So when you interview him, there were very interesting things that some of our people told him. Asked him to report on it. Even they're supposed, when he says 6,000 people have elected to follow him, ask him to name 30. They should give you just 30 names. Because we have a robust database of our volunteers. We know everybody, who they are, where they are, and what they are doing for us. So if he says 6,000 of our volunteers have followed him, he should name 30, not 1,000, not 100, just 30 on your show.
So you doubt the numbers he's putting out, the 6,000 and all of that. You say you're not challenging him to name even 100. He should name 30.
30. It is a joke.
Okay, all right. Just clarify this for me, though. The last time Dr. Abu Sakara Foster came here, he said something to the effect that, the ARC, or at least the movement, was going to have some representation in the Ejiso situation. What's the status of that? I just want clarity on that.
No, I mean, as a serious movement, we analyze every situation and decide to have a strategic engagement on it. At this point, I think it will be premature to state any details. It's just that it is a development that we are monitoring closely.
Are you hoping to field a candidate?
We are not fielding a candidate, that I can tell you for sure. But it's a development that we continue to monitor.
Thank you, Courage Nobi, for joining the conversation. He is Deputy Director of Communications, Movement for Change. All right. So let's wind down on this conversation, gentlemen. Interesting dynamics from different angles. But for you, you've made it clear that the NDC is not fielding a candidate in Ejiso. But what are your expectations?
Okay, so just a little bit about Movement for Change and its cluster of other interest groups and how deflections are occurring. I believe that the NPP is acting like any other superpower that will crash in a breakaway. I mean, it happens in political environment, and so it's not strange for our brothers to want to do that. The NDC was faced with NDP. You remember? Nana Kunadu's party when we were in power. I mean, so these things will continue to happen. If you listen to the gentleman who supposedly have joined broken away with Alan Chimantin to form his new political party, or a member of the Alan Chimantin's party who is now coming back. Clearly, there were meetings with NPP leadership. Clearly, he's a business person as opposed to a political activist. And we all know that fundamental characteristics of business people is remaining to be business. Now, the movement for change has now grown from just a breakaway political party to a conglomerate of other political parties coming together to join. If you look at somebody like Abu Sakara, he's run before for presidential elections. If you put him in terms of credibility and integrity, if you put Abu Sakara and you put Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I would go for Abu Sakara. I mean, if you look at the NPP in terms of scheme, you will always know and realize and agree that Alan Chimantin is senior to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in terms of political experience, in terms of pedigree of performance. We all know that. But for money, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will not be able to even contest Alan Chimantin in any election any day, except that he is supported by the president. Everything Bawumia is doing, President Akufo-Addo is behind the shadows. He is the one remoting the political ambition of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's political ambition now is an extension of Akufo-Addo's presidential ambition.
Okay, I need to bring in someone else. So quickly, now, just summarize.
Now, so having said so,
I mean, we've concluded on the key points.
Having said so, the NDC will not frame a candidate, possibly, as I've said.
Right.
But it is important that I remark that the NPP should stay our political party from the conversation of Ejusu, because we are not there. Why are they scared? It's an easy election. Clearly, they are struggling. They are struggling because it's a very difficult election for them. If they claim that the statistics will work, why are they not sleeping to say that, it's our stronghold, so they will vote for us?
Thank you. I'll come to you. I'll give you your fair share. But let me also bring in, I'll come to you, Haruna. Let's also bring in Hansen Date. He joins the conversation via Zoom. Why are we having a conversation with Hansen Date, who says he is the diaspora youth organizer of the NPP?
Hey.
That is who he is. And he says he has defected to the NDC, okay, because the NPP has lost its values. And he joins the conversation. Hansen, good morning.
Yeah, fine morning, sir.
It's interesting having you. Up until now, I've never had a conversation with you. So where exactly are you based?
Currently, I'm based in Barcelona, Spain.
In Barcelona, Spain. Okay, right. And how did you become the NPP's diaspora youth organizer? Was it through voting? How did you become that?
Yeah, it's through voting, the normal process.
I see. So the NPP caucus in Spain, in Barcelona, or which?
In Spain, in diaspora, and in Ghana, they are aware of it. They know.
I see.
Process.
I just want you to situate. I just wanted you to situate it from that angle so that we can know exactly what clout you carry, who you are, and what you represent. And you're saying that you've defected to the NDC. Why?
Because even if you have just said it, I said the NPP has lost its values. And, everybody have a choice of joining a party. I joined this party since 1996. And looking at the things at this particular moment, I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of different ideologies, which was not part of our founders' ideology. I'll call it a foreign ideology. And these foreign ideologies, I don't buy it. So this makes me to take such decision.
What are these foreign ideologies?
Well, the main ideology of NPP is to fight against corruption, but currently the foreign one is to promote corruption under Nana Akufo-Addo government. Because if you look at the establishment of a special prosecutor, you will witness with me that it is not meaningful to do that because we are not seeing any impact of this institution. It's like a scam. We are just wasting money on those institutions, you know. And then fighting against corruption has become obvious clear that it's not a sin or it's not anything. We all knew that before Nana Addo became into power. Everybody knew him that he hates corruption. He doesn't like it. So we were 100% sure that he will surely fight against corruption, but you witness of it. You are in Ghana, you know how Ghana is moving now. Even currently, if you send goods through the port, there are a lot of taxes called COVID tax. But let me ask you a question. Even how many COVID cases Ghana reported? And even the whole world, which country is now talking about COVID? Why still Ghana we are still paying a COVID taxes at the port? Bills, light bills, electricity, and other issues. So in fact, if you look at the way my president, Nana Akufo-Addo, when he assumed into office, the way he talked, Ghana beyond aid, the way he preached, you see, now he's no longer saying that. You understand? And the party, there's a disunity in the party now.
So these are the reasons. These are the reasons for which you are defecting. Are you defecting on your own? Are you coming with a group of people? Is it just you, Hansen?
Oh, it's not only me. There are a lot of people. I'm coming with a lot of people.
I see. About how many people are we looking at?
Oh, currently not less than 100.
Not less than 100. But
here,
are you people? Are you?
And beside that, here, through my deflection in Ghana, back home Ghana, a lot of people have changed their mind.
I see.
To go to Sudan West, yes, of course.
A quick one. Will you be coming to vote in the 2024 elections? I don't know about, I mean, we have mechanisms, but sometimes they don't necessarily. Will you come to Ghana to vote, or do you have any plans of voting?
Yes, of course.
So you will come to Ghana and vote in election 2024?
Yes, of course, if God permit.
I see. Just hold for me. I don't need any further engagement, but I'm coming into the studio and maybe they may say something you may need to react to. That's why I want you to hold for me. Haruna, do you know this gentleman, Hansen Date?
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
I was trying to go through the diaspora executive list, and it looks like it's not on my phone currently. I don't know him, and I need to verify whether actually he's even a youth organizer of our party in Spain.
Diaspora youth organizer.
Yes, I need to verify that. But I must say that maybe he has lost touch with the values of the New Patriotic Party. None of the values of the New Patriotic Party has been lost. One of the values is competition. And the New Patriotic Party has always encouraged competition. We went through the polling stations, went through the electoral area, went through constituency, went through the regional elections, went through national, went through parliamentary, went through the presidential. We encourage competition. The NPP believe in property-owning democracy, where we encourage and support businesses to stand on their own.
I know where you're going with this. I'm just trying to draw your attention to something he said. He spoke about the values in terms of fighting corruption. Do you still believe in the fight against corruption?
I'm giving you all the values.
Right.
I'm narrating the values.
No, just stick to that one. Do you still believe in fighting against corruption?
Fighting against corruption is a policy direction of the party, but not a core value. That is what I'm telling you. So he doesn't know.
That's why there's corruption.
These are the values. The values.
Right.
The values are a bigger picture where you are able to draw up activities in terms of fighting corruption, in terms of developing the capacities of the people, in terms of spreading support to every citizen of Ghana.
Let's cap off the conversation.
Final thoughts of the values of the party.
All right.
And my final thoughts here are that the NPP is ready for election 2024.
Right.
And we are going to make sure that everything that humanly possible that is on the rights of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, that we are able to do to make sure we get the votes of the people of Ghana. My brother was talking about hardship. If you ask the entry point of a teacher in 2016, which was about 12.1, level 12.1, the person was taking somewhere 799. The person could only buy 26 bags of cement. The person could only buy 42 gallons of diesel or fuel. Today, the entry point of that same level is 3,087.75 Ghana cedis. The person can buy 44 bags of cement. The person can buy 49 gallons of fuel. So this tells you that, yes, we are not going to stand at the same place. We have not provided everything that the people of Ghana need. But we have demonstrated that when given the opportunity, the length of time, we'll be able to make sure that the citizen of Ghana get the needed support that he needs to get. We are going to make sure.
I think the point is made. Thank you, Haruna. Just a quick one, though.
Yeah,
Mustapha, do you know this gentleman, Hansen Date? I'll be asking him shortly just what he thinks about it.
No, but we welcome him. Just that I'll be quick to add that we are still in touch with our values as a political party. We welcome him. But in our party, you have to go through the rules. He has to join a branch, apply to join a branch, and the branch will have to admit him as a...
The way you are eagerly, like immediately, you are recruiting the gentleman.
Of course, I'm recruiting, but I must say that we oppose the system. Our principles work. So there are things that you need to do. You have to join a party. The rules are completely...
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mustapha. Hansen, your party member here, he's Deputy General Secretary. He says he doesn't know you, that he's checked his list and you don't, on the pink sheets, there's no evidence that you exist.
Yeah, no, the issue is there is a branch here in Spain. So after contacting back home, they said I have to join the branch here, and this branch have to contact the back home of the head office. So just recently, I spoke with them, and then they accepted my letter, and they have my letter.
Yeah, thank you.
Who has your letter?
So he have to. You know what? The current chairman of NDC here in Barcelona is having my letter.
So the defection is complete.
It's complete. He called home, and then they said he have to keep the letter. So I think he can verify that in a moment from now.
I see, but in the NPP's books, have you ever been on the books of the NPP?
What?
The NPP. You say you are a diaspora youth organizer, or you have been. Yeah. Have you ever been on the books of the NPP as such?
Yes. Even if he checked.
For how long? For how long?
This last election, 2000, just ended the election, the presidential election. He could see even my name. He could see my details. He could see my picture. If he said no, I can even send it after this conversation. He can go back to the director of NPP International Affairs, and ask him and verify this. So this tells me that he doesn't even have a link with the international affairs, or he doesn't know much about the NPP diaspora.
All right.
I must tell you that.
But he did though say that he wasn't in the know. It didn't say categorically that. Per the information you have.
I was looking for the album to check on him.
All right.
You asked me personally whether I know him. I don't know him personally.
So thanks for the clarity. That's to be fair to him.
The guy cannot take the corruption again in this government. He can't.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're grateful. Our time is up.
A president who could not even answer whether he took corruption. He was corrupt, whether as a human being. Because he was. You are talking.
So those who joined us for this all-important conversation, we'll see how things go in Ejiso come the 30th. Those who joined the conversation, we had... Gentlemen, please. We had Nana Osei-Bonsu aide Kobena Owusu Ediome. He is aide to Nana Osei-Bonsu, who is aide to Kobena Owusu Ediome. Then there's Alfred Kumi, leader of the 50+1 movement, who says he has defected to the NPP. Courage Nobi is Deputy Director of Communications for the Alliance for Change, which is now the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, or the Movement for Change, which is now the Alliance for Revolutionary Change. Hansen Date joined the conversation, diaspora youth organizer of the NPP, who has now defected. Haruna Mohammed in the studio, Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, and of course, Mustapha Gbande on the other end, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Gentlemen, thank you once more for joining. Stay with us. There's still a lot more coming your way right here on the AM Show. We'll be right back.